So
Yeah.
today also, now, hello everyone. Today we are having Dr. Amrita Das with us. So very great to have you all here. It's my extreme pleasure and honor to introduce Dr. Amrita Das with all of you. Dr. Amrita Das is an incredible speaker, Arun educationist, career consultant, and a pioneer of career counseling in India. She actively participates in international conferences. She is recently appointed member steering committee for implementation of NEP 2020 by UP Government of India. She is a resource person for universities around the globe. She was featured on the cover page of CEO Insights as a trailblazer guiding the nation towards enlightened destiny.
Thank you so much for that introduction. I feel so honored.
I think I have a lot of more things. I want to speak more about you. So now I would really like to have all of Shalini's here. Let me have a quick look. Are we having all the Shalinis with us? It's really great. We are having all the Shalinis with us right now. So uh, I have been following you on social media, ma'am. I am one of your biggest fans. I
Thank
would really
you.
say because most welcome, ma'am. Because as a Shalini and as a student, basically we really need you at this span of time because we are growing, enriching ourselves. So we really need a mentor like you who can teach us, who can show us the right path which to choose. So
I look forward to being with you as a part of your journey. So please feel free to connect whenever you wish to.
thank
Remember,
you.
I'm now connected with you. I'm part of your family. I'm so proud of Udayan and all the Shalinis.
Thank you so much, ma'am. These words really touched our heart because we really welcome from the bottom of our heart, especially to the audience. Thank you so much, Shalini, for introducing yourself. Now, I would really like to, ma'am, we are really grateful that you are with us here today. So I would really like to ask you, please share some of experiences and stories with all of us. So that will definitely help us in guiding and will inspire us. So please, if you can share some of your insights and
So,
stories.
I was fortunate to have a very wonderful childhood in a very caring environment. So it has been said that it takes a village to raise a child. There were five of us. We are three sisters and two brothers. I'm the eldest. And from the very beginning, my parents and family members did not make any distinction on the basis of one being a girl or a boy. So we grew up in an environment of equality and equity and in a very happy environment. Recently, I read a study by Harvard University, and I'll share it with you. You must go and look at it. It's on YouTube. This is the longest study ever on happiness. And after 70 years of tracking the same group of students over their life, through their jobs, through their marriages, through their retirement, the study came to one amazing conclusion. And that conclusion was that what makes us happy, fulfilled, healthy, successful is nurturing and caring relationships. And I'm so glad that that became a launch pad for me, my childhood. It's important to have inspiring people. And if you have inspiring people in your family and if you get to meet inspiring people, it does give you amazing insights about your life and your journey ahead. So I was very inspired by my Dadiji, my grandmother, who was the first Indian principal of Isabella Thoburn College way back in 1939. In fact, she got a scholarship in 1911 to go and study in US because she was brilliant. And that is a time when she went to USA and she did a double major of English and mathematics. And then she came back, she got married, but she never stopped studying. She completed her MA while she was expecting my eldest uncle, my father's eldest brother, and she topped the Allahabad University. She got a gold medal, and she was the first woman gold medalist. Then, after my Dadaji died suddenly at a youngish age, she went back to teaching, and she got a fellowship to do her master's in education from Columbia University, and she was awarded doctorate. So I wanted to follow in her footsteps. I wanted to be an educationist. And I guess it resonated with my true calling in life. It resonated with my swadharma of purpose. So I went ahead and I studied education and psychology and history because I realized that you need to study what you're great at. Because if you study what you're great at, it develops your mind. Unfortunately, today, most careers are open from any subject stream or combination. I remember when I was 8 years old, I had the good fortune of meeting Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. I used to call him Chacha Nehru. He had come for a meeting to Dehradun, but he wasn't feeling well. So he said, I don't want to be in the meeting, but I want to meet all the children who've come here. And I was a lucky girl to meet him because he wanted to meet us one to one. And he said, what do you want to be? I said, I want to be a teacher. And he says, good. Our country needs teachers. Sadly, the very next day, he passed away of a stroke, but I'll always remember this. So I talked about inspiring persons, parents, family, Dadi ji, Nani ji, Prime Minister Nehru. Then, sometime later, at the State of the World Forum in San Francisco, I met a phenomenal lady called Jane Goodall. Jane Goodall is an anthropologist, and she has done a lot of work on chimpanzees and showed that chimpanzees can use tools. So do see her live. She is well over 90 now. And over dinner, I said, Jane, just share something with me. Give me some guidance. And she said, Amrita, follow your heart. So that was such a powerful message for me to continue to follow my heart. Now, how did I follow my heart? I'll share that with you. I was good at studies. So in our society, if you do well, if you're a gold medalist, everybody assumes that you'll join the IAS. And they all expected that I will join the IAS. I said, no, I want to stay in education. I want to do a PhD. And that's what I want to be. And within education, I'd love to do something different. So they said, all right, parents are all for it, very supportive. But my friends were disappointed. I went ahead, I did my PhD degree, and I am so happy I did it. Now, after the PhD degree, the next thing was, are you going to become a lecturer? I love the idea and I do lecture, but I told you I wanted to do something differently. So when I said, I do want to do something differently, and I shared it with my parents that I want to establish something which will provide guidance and career guidance to students. My mother thought for a while and she said, why don't you call it the Institute for Career Studies? And this was 36 years ago. And I said, Mommy, this is such a big name for just a dream, just an idea. I haven't even started. And she said, you will grow into it. And one got full support from my parents. So I didn't take up a lecturership. People said, do both. You will have job security. Start with a lecturership and start building your organization. And I realized if I didn't give my complete focus and attention to establishing the Institute for Career Studies, I would not be able to do justice to it. So again, I went again that belief of you must have job security. Then there were many proposals, and everybody would say, "You're rejecting all these very eligible bachelors. Look at him, he's handsome, he's doing well." But I had one precondition. And in those days, that precondition was not accepted. And that precondition was that I will not give up my name. I will keep my surname. I want my own identity. I believe in interdependence. Also, I would like my partner, whoever I marry, to mutually decide where we are going to live. I'm not just going to pack my bags and go following him wherever he goes. It has to be a mutual decision. Unfortunately, none of those eligible bachelors were new age men. There are many more for you all. You have many more choices today. Mine was virtually a closed one. But one teacher of mine, Dr. Bertha Caulfield, who was from Howard University, and she taught me English at Isabella Thoburn College, got married at the age of 65. So you always have possibilities, never close doors. Keep being a possibility thinker. So live life to the full and enjoy the journey. I would also say be a lifelong learner. That's so, so important. Then my Buaji said that she found because I was the eldest, I was given a lot of responsibility, but she wanted to spoil me. So it's also good to be spoiled by somebody. And she did spoil me, and she was like another parent. So I said, it takes a village to raise a child. Is a
Hello.
child, and you need many loved social work. I love really reaching out to the community. And can you hear me, or is my internet connection going?
Yes, ma'am. We just lost your few words in between, but it's all right.
Am I back now?
Yes, ma'am. It's
And
audible
is
now.
it clear?
Yes.
Yeah,
You were sharing
yeah,
about.
yeah. You are clear, Amrita.
Right, good. So at what point did I miss you guys? At
When
what was I say?
you were sharing your man who got married at age of 65.
Yes, so Dr. Caulfield got married at the age of 65, and I would say it's never too late. Don't shut doors. Be a possibility thinker. Live life on your terms and live queen size. So I also loved social work. I loved reaching out to the community, and from a very young age, from school onwards, I did voluntary work. And it is that voluntary work that taught me so much. For instance, I was very much a part of the Sundar Lucknow, Sakshar Lucknow movement for 100% literacy. I was the secretary of the district literacy committee. And then I also trained women pradhans. So I took time out and did a lot of training program for women pradhans. And what was the best was they came with a ghungat. But after the training and during it, the ghungat went off and they felt so empowered. So, all of us can do so much. I believe that no society rise above the level of its women. And we have to raise the bar. We have to go beyond the glass ceiling. Also, social legislation cannot bring about social change unless there's social awareness and action. So that is something all of us have to do. And you are doing it so purposefully. And so lead the change. And as young women of today, make a difference, go beyond that bar. What is more important is, and I learned this because I heard Oprah Winfrey say, that you don't leave a legacy at the end of your life. You can leave a legacy every time you touch somebody's life. Now, if we keep that in mind, we will realize that our life has to be a journey of touching lives and leaving that legacy, because our lives is a message to the world. We have to make it inspiring. Added to this is something which I read, and that's a beautiful story. I won't go into it. It comes from Africa, and Gandhiji's favorite word, among his favorite words, was the word Ubuntu. Have you heard of Ubuntu? Ubuntu is I am because you are. And very quickly, I'll tell you the story. There was a sociologist who went to a village in South Africa, and he saw a lot of children playing during the recess outside their school. So he thought, let's engage them. He took a box of chocolates and put it some distance away below a tree. And he said, okay, kids, we are going to have a race. Whoever reaches the box first is going to get the chocolates. He was surprised to find that no one ran. Instead, they held each other's hands and they worked towards the chocolate box and they shared it. So that's Ubuntu. I am because you are. I am because we are. Together, we can make that difference. So I think that is a big learning. Another learning for me has been to remain connected with your inner universe. We are so often sidetracked by internet that we connect with internet but get disconnected with our inner net. If we continuously harmonize our inner net with the outer net, our inner universe with the outer universe, you will be completely in harmony with the universal consciousness. You will develop intuition, you will develop sixth sense, which will in fact take you to the next level of pursuing your true callings in life, of making that difference, of making that impact.
Ma'am, more we listen to you. I would really say, like, listening to you is like what I
to get a job of my interest at the place I want to be.
So what I'd like to tell you is that mathematics is definitely a very strong route into computers and IT. It's a very strong route into data science. So while studying math, do pick up some elements of computer science or IT, because if you combine it, it'll add value to your path. I was in Nagoya University 2 years ago, and Nagoya University is known for its technology, for artificial intelligence, for machine learning. What is more, Japan gives a great scholarship called the G30 scholarship to brilliant students. You could apply for that. So Japan is the place. I'm glad you're thinking of it. So mathematics will give you a strong foundation for IT and computers.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
you really inspire us, ma'am. And what I am like able to see, I think you have answered one Priya, ma'am, very like to the point, and you really might have got your answer on the same span. Go research about that. So now, let me take the next question. Let's have a quick look on the list. Shravani, I would like to request you to ask next question with ma'am. Over to you.
Okay, hello, ma'am. I'm Shravani from Hyderabad chapter. Ma'am, you are an inspiration for all of us. Who is your motivator and what excites you the most?
As I told you, I've had many motivators and inspiring people in my life. My
Yes.
parents, my family, Dadi ji, Nani ji. I didn't have grandfathers, they had passed away before I was born. And fantastic teachers along my journey, eminent people I have met. I also met Valentina Tereskova. She was the first woman in space, very, very fascinating lady.
Wow.
And she could dream so big that she reached out to the universe. And I learned that, yes, there are multiple universes that we can reach out to in our lives. And later, this lady, who was a cosmonaut, became the president of the Soviet Women's Society and did a lot for women. So she's another inspiring. So these people got me thinking about how they made a difference to themselves and the world.
Thank you, ma'am. That was so lovely.
Thank you.
That was really great, ma'am, because what I am able to like check it out, we have got a lot of new answers from you. We have learned a lot of new things from you, I would really say. And even the first and learn from our environment, because you try to take you learn from a lot of people, like your family, surroundings, even the first woman and your like own grandmother was the principal. That was really so much inspiring, like that at your family you were having a very great motivation.
And my
So I think
mother
that
was always a social worker, always volunteered work. My father was in the police. He was the first Director General of Police. But he always said, be kind, be humble, be compassionate. Do your work with passion, but be compassionate. So there's been a lot of learning, and I have taken note of that learning. I've tried some of those beautiful thoughts that have been passed on to me. And
you're even spreading a lot of I think you are growing people now. Like you have grown, you have taken a lot. That's the most, I think, the most beautiful thing you are doing in the world, and that really makes a change in, I think, our lives and a lot of people's life.
I would agree with, I tell all of you, I'm so happy your hobbies and interests, but find sacred time for yourself where you reflect, where you meditate. Daily reflection and meditation, gratitude for the life you have, and maintaining a journal where you jot thoughts and ideas will bring greater focus into your life while centering you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now we are having very less time. I wanted to take more questions. I will be sending you then. It's like all these questions which our Shalini wanted to ask you separately.